Altbays.
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 Dum, 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 da, da, da. And we are live. And yes, I'm on my phone. My mom would be like, "What are you doing? Put the phone down, motherfucker." She is right. There you go. Live on YouTube. This is show number 158. We've been doing this for exactly 1 year. We started the channel on the 8th of February, so that was yesterday. We celebrated 1 year. Can you have some claps for that? Oh, actually, it was for him, but thanks so much. As the technician failed, we got the real claps. Thank you so much. If you're watching us right now, you're on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe to our channel to support the team. We are a podcast, so you will find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and all the main audio platforms. We are live streaming every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, we started doing 2 shows per week because we're going to create more content outside of the studio. Okay, so there's cool things coming up. Watch this space. It is 7 p.m. Sometimes a little bit before 7, sometimes a little bit later. So be patient. We're not TV. Be cool to us. Okay, on my left, Chloe Potai.
Hello.
Yes, so cool to have you back.
I'm stoked for you back. To be back.
You're stoked because I'm
take
happy.
2 television. No, I'm absolutely over the moon to be back. It's great. It's nice to be back in the studio. Nice to be listening to my own voice, listening to yours, eating pizza. Thank you, Slice baby.
Good food, eh?
Very happy.
Last time you were here, life was very different. You were not a flight attendant at the time, were you?
No, not that I can recall. I can't believe it's actually been that long that I can't really remember actually. But no, I'm going to assume that I wasn't. No.
Are you having fun?
Yes, I am. Yes. I mean, what a job. I get paid to travel. Get paid to hang out in other countries. And like hospitality, customer service, you know. And I also get to represent my country, you know, like on a giant big white cigar looking thing.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a rugby player, but like still represent. So,
Just
like, you
as
know,
cool.
yeah.
Represent.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of travel, we got 2 beautiful people here who love to travel, so I think this is going to be a cool show. Tonight we have Emma Anaru.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
How's it going?
Going good. And Duane?
Yes.
Duane?
Yeah.
Poaneki.
Yeah, Poaneki.
Poaneki.
Kia ora whānau.
Everyone calls him D though. It's way
D.
easier.
Easy.
No one
Sure.
can even pronounce his name properly.
We'll work on that towards the end of the show. We'll be saying it perfectly.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask you, both of you, Duane, bring your mic a little bit closer to you. Yeah, mama. And Emma, come a
Like
little
a
bit
shuffle on
closer.
it.
Isn't that a song?
Come just a bit closer,
baby.
I just
Should be if
need
it's not.
permission, so give me the green light.
Yeah, don't know that one.
There
but
you go. Years of teaching music. How are you guys?
Fabulous.
Great, thanks.
Do you like the space?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's looking nice.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice. So
You like
I'm
the
just
pizza?
gonna read this quickly, so we get to know who our beautiful guests are. So Emma and Duane are passionate about Moana, the sea, and their business, Tae Collective, designs books for children to inspire creativity and learning through coloring. This powerful couple are also big fans of their lovely tattoos. If you're watching us right now, look at these guys.
Check it out.
Check it out. And if you're listening to them, you're like, wow, they just like got heaps, and it's beautiful. Emma is a proud dog mom.
Yes.
Dog mom.
Dog mom. Emphasis on the dog.
That's right. A model and brow and lash specialist. And Emma was nominated Miss Ink New Zealand in 2015. Duane is a surfer and a contemporary Māori artist.
Cheers, man. Thanks, brother.
Plus all the sea cave adventures and all the other beautiful things that you do, right, my bro?
Yeah, bro.
Nice. Okay, so let's go straight into the book that we can see here. Tell me.
Pukapuka. So, should we start with how it was the idea
How it
came about?
developed?
Yeah. Basically, D is an artiste, and he just had a whole heap of like illustrations inspired by Moana. Can you see? I don't know.
Yeah, just come a little, just turn. Yeah, Emma,
Is
that's
it?
the one. Just more the mic,
Oh,
actually.
the
We
mic,
can
yes.
see
Sorry,
it. But
forget
just
about
the mic.
this.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there
it's
you
my
go.
first time.
If you're gonna roll out a camera view, just take the mic with you.
Just running around the
keep
studio.
talking shit, keep
Like,
talking.
Anyway, yeah, so D had all these illustrations that were just kind of like sitting in a folder, and I was like, these are beautiful. Like, people need to be able to see these. Like, what can we kind of do with these so that we can get them out there? And that's kind of how the colouring book kind of came about, eh?
Started to unfold and
Yeah. And then it kind of evolved from just a colouring book. We were like, we need to kind of add something else to this. Yeah, sorry.
added some
No.
Māori flavour.
Yeah, something else to this. So that's how it kind of became more of an educational kind of resource, I guess you'd say. So that's when we started kind of researching all into the creatures and getting all the facts, and we wanted to bring our culture. So like me personally, I've only just started my Te Reo Māori journey, and it's something that like I really I'm striving for in the next few years. Like I think in my generation or our generation, it's kind of been lost like as we've been brought up, and there's like a massive movement at the moment obviously trying to like bring it back to the forefront. So yeah, we've only just started, and that's kind of how it evolved into adding the Te Reo Māori in there as well.
Would the families speak Te Reo at home?
No, more mine don't. No.
My great grandparents did, but then they kind of start speaking to us. Oh, when the younger days get caned, going to kura, they just get kind of caned for any speaking Te Reo Māori. So my great grandparents, they were like fluent. They couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
And then the next generation, they just get caned and then
Got beaten.
Kind of
got
got
beaten
lost,
out of them.
yeah.
And then growing up, we've done the pukapuka together back in
Yeah.
primary school, and slowly started, getting our Te Reo journey, going back to the marae and the pa and hanging with all the kajis and the aunties.
Isn't it just so good? Like it's like just to touch on that. When I'd like to think that I'm not so like spiritual and stuff, but there's just something about being around whānau, like being on the marae, like even when you just like join in kapahaka and like it's just like there's that energy,
absolutely. I
it's
think
just
Māori's
real
a very
soul moving.
spiritual like culture.
It's
So,
good, eh?
Yeah,
So good.
yeah.
What I'm looking at here, Duane, at the table, this piece, can you, because there's a beautiful story behind this one, right?
Oh yeah, so I surf a lot on the west coast. I'm in the Moana pretty much every day, as much as I can. Surfing, diving, getting kai moana. That's my realm, tangaroa, hini moana. And so on the west coast, there's only 54 Maori dolphins left. So I created 4 prints, and for each print, it's only selling 54 copies to kind of shine and spread awareness of what's going on the west coast. So yeah, hopefully we can save these tongas, these creatures, and bring them back.
Yeah. It's like a really sad kind of tribute to them, trying to bring awareness to the struggle that they're facing at the moment. And we've paired up with the New Zealand Whale and Dolphin Trust with these, so 10% of all our profits with all of these prints go to the Whale and Dolphin Trust. Sorry.
There you go.
Back. I like to move around. Can you follow me? I need one of those ones.
I know, right? We should
Gonna
With like a
swap.
magnet. Like a magnet on my mouth. Anyway.
Get your Britney on.
Yeah,
We'll think about that for the next.
2000s Britney.
When Emma is back, we're gonna have those headsets.
Yeah. Please, give me one of those. But yeah, obviously he's the illustrator. I like to call myself the project manager and the sales rep. So I normally do all
media.
the talking around this, but yeah.
So you get to do the social media and more of the advertisement. For
Yeah,
for
I
you
kind of
guys?
do, like all the admin and the social media and like interacting with customers and all that kind of thing. I mean, he does as well, as much as,
But yeah, I try
Yeah.
and stay off my phone on
yeah.
devices.
He's not
and
a phone lover.
I'd rather be in the Moana and that's my
Yeah.
kind of element.
That's
Salty
fine.
dog,
He can
salty
create.
dog,
He
yeah.
can create and I can get it out there. So
Do
teamwork.
do you like doing doing it personally, like posting things about your life, or you like to separate things?
I mean, I'm not like fully into the social media, but I love it as a tool to be able to kind of like spread awareness and things like that, like a free tool, which is amazing. Like
Yeah.
anyone and everyone can jump on there and kind of get their story out as much as they want to, I guess. So I do like it in that aspect. There's obviously a lot of good and bad that comes with that side of things though, but yeah, no, I really appreciate it as a tool for us to be able to get our mahi out there and like
And the
our
message
message
out there.
and to like an audience that you normally wouldn't be able to. So yeah.
I love it. Hey, Chloe, look at this. It does. It
It was like
does.
slick, man, down to a T.
Perfect.
It does.
It's like I've done this
answer the
before.
That's why you're the media expert.
Yeah, I'm a
I'm the
pro.
media manager.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to work a mic.
We'll work on that.
Yeah,
we
we'll
got
get there.
time. We'll
Be a
get
pro
there.
by the end, babe.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Now, guys, thank you so much for doing this. This is pretty cool. Like, of course, for us, it's always a pleasure to bring people who are bringing Māori culture to the forefront. We were talking about that before the show. You know, like I work at the school. Chloe has a big connection with this community. So every time that we bring people who are doing cool stuff, you know, that we can see that it's bringing value to the community, it means a lot for us. So yeah, we'll definitely put the word out. And what a beautiful piece as well. Hey, you can see that you guys put
The book?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I honestly, obviously he did the illustrations, but I'm so proud of like how this is a year in the making. Just FYI,
Awesome.
we started this in the last lockdown as just like what can we
Project,
do?
yeah.
And then it just like evolved and like trial and error and like trying different things and. Yeah, it was definitely a roller
Bit
coaster.
of a journey, but
there was a few
yeah,
times
got
we
there
were
in
like,
the end.
fuck this, we're not, so annoying, you know, but they were like, nah, like we've got something good here. So like we want to try and get out there. And we were learning as we go. Like we had no idea what the hell we were doing.
How is
Started
the
off like scrapbooking,
Yeah,
on the
just
back of the old, letter.
Yeah,
writing notes
Yeah.
and planning it out.
Literally,
we had
there's
our own
about
little
1,000
scrapbook
little
and with like
brainstorms of.
stuck,
Yeah.
photocopied all our kind of illustrations and all our kupu.
Oh
and then
yeah,
we
I
kind
should have
of
brought in like our first
one.
prototype. It's like- but yeah, this was I'm so proud of it, and just like the glisten in the power shower as well.
Something that I was
It
going to say,
looks-
it's such a special touch. When I
Yeah.
was looking at it, I spent a few seconds just watching
Yeah.
the light go over it because that's such a beautiful touch, and that's such a Kiwi,
Yeah.
Māori,
Absolutely, it's like
Yeah.
a very iconic, look and color.
Emma,
And we-
how is the design and the publishing process? Did
We
you
completely
do-
self-published, so it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of printing, trialing different inks and things. We work with a printer in Hamilton.
Yep.
I got a few different kind of quotes and prototypes from different printers, and I really liked these guys, and they were really like into kind of communicating with us and trying to help like us with trying to get the best like product, obviously as well, which a few other printers weren't like that, but it was just pretty much trialing different things and trialing different inks and trialing different opacities and different thickness of paper and
Wow.
blah, blah, blah.
What was probably the hardest thing that like when you were halfway through or realized that you were doing it wrong, or like now you are aware of?
The hardest thing was, so originally we wanted to translate, so there's facts about each creature, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to translate all of that into Māori. And honestly, probably 8 months of it was trying to figure out how to do that. We would get it translated and then we'd show it to someone who was fluent and they'd say, no, that's wrong.
yeah.
And then they'd like correct it and then we'd show it to the next person, no, that's wrong. And then it was honestly turned into a thing we were like, this is crazy how hard it is.
in a different iwi affiliation as well, and different.
We
Slightly
didn't want to
different
piss one iwi
dialects
off
and-
and then, different
And,
dialects.
and there's something that I've noticed with this awesome surge of like te ao Māori coming back into normal life is the difference between like transliterations and translations. Like, and I think it's pretty common for some languages when you learn them, like you learn it like by the book, black and white, in terms of grammar and pronunciation and stuff. But then there's some things that you just like native speakers, you just don't
Yeah,
say.
and even, like,
so there's
in the way
there's
that they
actually
say
no
it.
words for
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and so people like make up words, and you're like. Yeah, so, but same in this case. There's obviously some scientific words or whatever that you just
Yeah,
they
that
just don't
were
exist in
technically
Māori.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You could translate them, but it's not the same. It's absolutely not the same.
Yeah, and so that was definitely the hardest part. And a few times we were like, oh, we can't do this. Like, we don't want to look like idiots because obviously we're just starting our Te Reo Māori journey and we are like relying on people who are saying, oh, that's right or that's wrong. And like, we're like, well, what if it's not, or what if it is? Like, you know? So that's how it kind of turned into a bit more of a simplistic. So we've just got kind of a few words on each page that are translated into Te Reo Māori, which I think is better for us as well because that's kind of where our
Yeah.
language
there's a
level
journey.
is at as
Yeah,
well,
it's
you
a
know?
journey,
So
yeah.
I didn't want to put anything out there that I didn't want to pretend that we were fluent
Fluent
in Te
Te
Reo
Reo
or like,
Māori,
you know, because absolutely not. We're not. But we are trying to, learn our language and learn our culture.
And it's the best way for lots of people to learn as well, as you having simple words that you just you
sure.
hear every other day, like
Yeah.
you moana, and you slowly just stop using the word ocean or
Yeah.
sea, you know?
Yeah.
So a small important kupu is,
Yeah, for
best
sure.
way, yeah. Like
And
it.
also good for kids as well. Like it obviously goes with the age. Like it's not a
Magic colour, yeah.
it's not a book for adults. It's a book for kids. So you know, yeah.
Perfect.
It's
So
such a
kind of-
beautiful book, though. I wouldn't be surprised with a lot of adults
Oh, yeah,
just
we've
having
had-
fun and
absolutely.
just like
Yeah.
painting.
We've had quite a few adults who have been like, oh, I don't want to give this to my kid. I don't want them to ruin it.
Yeah, they're like, it's actually for me.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
gonna start beating the kid away.
Yeah.
Don't touch. Like,
And that was a funny thing. I was talking about Chloe before, the Blueberry Cove
Yeah,
books,
yeah,
because
yeah.
when she came here, she brought all the books. And I was like, oh, can I paint one? Like she brought the colors thing, and then like I saw that she gave me a bit of a look, you know. And I was like, okay. And then I realized, oh, this is for the parents.
Yeah.
It's not for the children. Like, and the children, the
You're like,
child is
"No."
ruining the book. Oh, damn! But this one is definitely for the children, right?
Definitely. Well, I mean it.
And for everybody.
And adults as
But
well.
you guys are
like
focusing.
non-age specific.
Yeah, one thing we've struggled with as well is kind of the age bracket, because there is things in there for different ages. Like obviously colouring can be for younger, can be for older, can be for adults, and there's like a bit of te reo in there, a bit of facts and things like that. We also kind of created it so that parents could interact with their children doing it as well. So maybe they're colouring and then they're reading them the facts and kind of learning together as well.
Like a fun kind of activity,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all kind of learning together.
Yeah.
And what about the sizing? Like, why did you pick to have like an A4 size? Usually because I know you. I mean, you just said you weren't trying to be too age specific, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know, usually when it is a little bit of a
like an A4,
yeah,
like
it's
I mean
a little bit
A5.
smaller, yeah.
We
Is it
never really discussed it. Just happened
You were
as
like,
an
it
A4. Yeah,
is,
that's
yeah,
it.
it
It's
is
what
what
it
it
is, and
is,
that's
yeah.
what it is.
Oh,
I didn't-
cool.
Yeah, we didn't really.
Like our first prototype was like
Yeah,
was like
that was
small,
small.
probably half the size,
Yeah.
and we realized they couldn't
Yeah.
work, and then we kind of
And
doubled
just
it.
to be able to like get the detail and the illustrations and stuff like that into, you know.
And it makes it just because I like the idea that it's like an
I
activity.
feel like
book.
if that was A5,
You know?
it would
Can
be.
I show one?
Yeah. It would be too small, you know. And also, yeah, as an activity book, we also wanted to have space so they
Space.
can be kind of creative themselves.
Yeah.
And we are trying to get it into schools as well. So, like, as an actual
Wow.
learning resource, we've already had one order from a school, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was more like a workbook, you know.
Yeah.
And my workbooks are normally A4.
Come on, Mercury Babe.
Back in the day when I was at school, they were A4.
Come on, Mercury
Come on,
Babe.
where are you?
Excuse me. Mm.
Tae.collective2022@gmail.com.
There you go, dude. Yes.
Hit me up, hit me up.
Shout out.
We've got wholesale rates for all schools, so yeah.
And,
It is like
nice.
just putting that out there.
And how much of the paintings and the artwork that you guys do translates in your body, in your tattoos?
Well, I think all of
Yeah,
our
pretty
artwork
much,
is a collective.
Most of my designs are like puhoro, like flows from the Moana, because that's where I kind of get all my inspiration from. And yeah, pretty much tatted up pretty much all over my body. This is Tangaroa, gold of the Moana, and then pretty much all my moko is pretty much based around the Moana and Tangaroa. And then the rest is all kind of my daughter, mum, my manu, it's my on my iwi. So yeah, pretty much all. Oh, yeah, I'm covered, eh? I'll just keep going and going.
Over here. And, if you look behind that.
So Duane, is it disrespectful if I say tattoo instead of moko?
Nah. I mean, this is tattooing.
This is
yeah.
tattoo, but
no,
this
it's
is
just
this is
like a
ta.
type.
This is ta moko.
Tamoko,
type of
sorry,
tattoo,
tamoko.
yeah.
Yeah, Tamoko's just
Tamoko.
like
When you come to a master, like to someone who is the OG, do you give them freedom to create? Do you guys contribute with the idea? Like, do you say, oh, like sometimes you just let
It depends
do
on
what-
what style.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like stuff like this, I'll have most of that kind of planned out and then go to an artist that I like their style, then they'll obviously put it into their own style and then we'll collaborate and kind of, you know, change and move things around. When it comes to Taumoko, most Taumoko artists are freehand.
Yeah.
Most of them, not all of them. So this was pretty much, I stood there with a naked leg and he'd drawn it. And I was like, that's a cool shape. That's me.
It's
You
like
know,
me.
obviously,
Jump in
like
the
what it
sea.
means and you know all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was definitely all him with what I wanted it to mean and you know that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah, for all my moko, all my tamoko artists, the tamoko artist kind of do his thing and kind of get into his kind of element and just
Yeah.
just express myself.
It's quite a part of the traditional process, isn't it? To sort of you kind of just talk about what's important to you and a little bit of your tūranga waiwai and your history, and it's what they produce tends to be their own. There's a word for it, not translation, but their own vision, like what they've been able to create. So it's always a little bit of the artist connected in your taimoko as
And
well.
each pattern means something different
Yeah.
as well. So they pick particular patterns for like, you know, what you want it to mean and different iwis and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But
And
Dee's actually studying a bit of that.
Yeah,
I got him
bit
a
of-
tattoo kit for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been
So-
going to Taumoko Wānangas, just kind of like
Yeah.
so I can actually learn properly. And
Where do you practice? Like what?
On himself.
On
Well,
yourself?
he-
oh yeah, for
Not
moko
yet,
and stuff.
though.
Yeah, not yet, but I kind of draw my legs with like pen and stuff.
Oranges. So the orange skin, the depths of an orange skin is actually very similar to how human skin is. So if you practice on orange, it's very similar to how like the same thicknesses and stuff.
Same
eh?
texture.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I
If
got
you
a
don't
tattoo.
want to destroy your body.
There you
or
go.
like
Yeah.
or like play around with pig skin.
Yeah, we can do that, but that's way more expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want
It's
to eat it
kinda
after,
weird.
yeah. I don't know. You can get fake skin, like rubber skin as well. But yeah,
It's also a little bit weird.
yeah.
Okay, so we're getting there, eh? For the next step.
Yeah, my leg will probably be covered once I kind of get it sorted. This is my practice kind of my practice skin. So
And you can just cover it up,
Yeah.
black out.
Yeah.
Just black it out, man.
If only they had like twink for tattoos.
they got like UV now.
Oh no.
UV ink.
Yeah, that guy was talking to you about that, eh? That stuff's actually really dangerous.
You had like a whole sleeve in like
Yeah.
UV, so when it goes
That
into
can
like
be
the
really
black
bad,
light,
yeah black light, you can pretty much use all lights
so
up.
he like glows. But I've
Whoa,
heard
whoa, wait,
some-
what?
Yeah,
Is
you can get
Yeah.
UV tattoo ink. So it only shows up. Well, you can actually see it looks like kind of a bit of a scar.
Scar, like it comes
Yeah.
out like white, or like a real, like a
Kinda
white
like a
ink
white tattoo,
ink,
yeah.
And so
And
it's
it
in the
glows.
ink, and then you can pick it up in black light.
But
I
I've
mean-
heard like some bad. I've heard there's like can be some like really poisonous things in that ink. So
I feel like it's one of those
Be
things where it's
careful.
like when you're a kid and you get like glow sticks, and then
Yeah.
you break the glow stick, and you're like, oh my god, it's so cool, and you're like, wow, super toxic.
Yeah.
Super toxic. Looks cool, really bad.
all over your mouth, all over your face.
like real bad. Look at my real mad.
that's happened to me before. I think at Rhythm and Vines.
I think me as
ate
well.
through a glow stick. Didn't even realise.
I didn't realise.
I think this is the end of the story. And we're going that way.
So back to the tamoko.
What about eating glow sticks?
Yeah, no, we can just glide over that.
next subject. There
Yeah.
you go. Marmalades, the secret words. Next subject. There you go. One of the shows, the guys. Oh, I'll just say marmalades, and then you know that it's time to change subject. Cool.
Yeah.
Marmalades then. You won.
Oh gosh, yes.
There you go. Miss Ink. Is
Miss
that
Ink New Zealand, yes. Long time ago, 2015.
okay?
Yeah, I
So is it like? Tell me,
So
national
it's
competition.
Basically
how-
like a pageant, like Miss World, but better because we're tattooed.
way better.
Way cooler. Anyway, yeah. So you compete in like your region. So I think I did Auckland, and then I think I came second in that. And then we went down to, oh my god, it was so long ago. And then we went down to Christchurch, and I competed in New Zealand, and I won.
Right.
Can you just explain for anyone who doesn't
So it's
understand
like
what it is?
So
like,
it's
is
like
it?
a pageant basically. So there was 4 rounds. So you did like casual. So there was kind of like an outfit that kind of like showed you and like what you would like normally wear or whatever. And then you did like an evening round, and then there was a talent round, and then there was a bikini round, of course.
Right, and
It was-
the point is you're showing off the artwork on your
tattoos.
skin.
Yeah. So obviously you have to be tattooed to enter the pageant. That's the point. But then obviously it's also like about like who you are and like what you're about and that kind of thing as well, and like your stage presence. There's a whole kind of heaps of factors that go into play. But obviously you have to have like quite a few tattoos and cool tattoos and good quality ones and stuff like that. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, I competed in that, and then I won, and then I was a judge for the next year, and then I actually ran my own competition as well a few years. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how long ago. It was like quite a few years ago, pre-COVID. The Miss Custom Culture tattoo competition, which was at the V4 Rotary Nationals. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Is it a car thing?
Yeah, it's a car.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like rotary
Oh,
triangle thingy
Yeah.
car. Brum, 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 like.
But there was like, so they had like 8 warehouses of cars, but one of them was a tattoo convention.
Convention?
So we
Oh,
had
yeah,
heaps
yeah, they
of tattoo
tend to-
artists there, and then we had like a whole heap of different like talents, and like there was like a professional pole dancer and like a hula hoop artist, and then we had the pageant as well, and we had like a band and like a whole heap of stuff. And then tattoo comps, so like they have like entries for like best black and grey and best of the day, best Tae Moko, best Polynesian tattoo, like that kind of thing. And then the artists win prizes if they win.
Wow.
They were.
Yeah, this ain't a participation game, babe. You gotta win.
Yeah.
What was what's the craziest one that you have seen? Like they were
Tattoos?
like, "Are you serious? You really tattooed that on you?" Like, well,
Oh my gosh, I've seen a pretty weird one. He had a penis with spider legs in one armpit and a vagina with spider legs in the other armpit. That was pretty weird. But just the armpit in general was a pretty fucked up place to tattoo.
Took me a second to just be like, okay, and then spider leg,
Yeah.
and I'm like, in the armpit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no.
So that was pretty weird.
okay.
Yeah. I've seen quite a few weird tattoos, but
Eyeballs tattooed.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it's,
Ugh.
Wow.
that's gnarly.
I don't
Really?
understand why they call it tattooing.
Yeah, I
You're
don't know. Well,
injecting, right?
Ink, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really. I don't know the science behind that, but I'm not about it. I mean, it looks cool. Each to their own. I'm all
Yep.
about body modification and stuff like that. But oof.
Do you guys see yourself covered in tattoos, like at a later in life, or no, in
Like
2
right
years?
now?
like
tomorrow.
Actually,
100%, like everything, like.
No. Mum's rules. I'm not allowed nipples up, so no chest, neck, or face. That's fine.
sorry, Mum, about the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
No, and she also said no hands. And I kind of really want to get something like here, but Mummy, if you're watching this,
get like a semi-full half back.
yeah,
like,
no, definitely
piece,
do a
just
full
like-
back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely
cool.
do a full back. I just haven't planned that yet.
Haven't
And
told Mum, but you heard it here
legs,
first.
Back's fine. Mum said I can do back. I can cover
Okay.
it. I think she realised it's not a phase. So.
So, speaking about body mods, what about like piercing? Obviously, you've got your
Oh,
nose, you
oh.
go noses pierced.
I think I got like 17 piercings. I was like, oh. I've got 9 in this ear alone.
Ah, right.
Can you hear me? Sorry. I'm kidding.
Keep cruising back.
I keep running away with the mic. Shit. Yeah. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm 17.
How old were you when you got the first one?
I don't know. Young, like 3 or 2 or something. Like young. Yeah, like young.
I fell and I bruised and I was like,
Oh wait, my tattoo? You got a tattoo or piercing?
tattoo.
Oh god,
Sorry.
16. I think you meant
Yeah,
piercing.
we're talking about piercing.
Okay.
Tattoo.
Yeah,
Tattoo. First tattoo?
16, I think. Yeah.
16.
How old are you?
Yeah, I'll be the same as well.
Was
yeah.
it in like someone's garage?
No. Mine was actually at a tattoo studio, but it was pretty bad actually. It was a Tae Moko on my leg, but I had to get it all fixed up and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But I had to like hide it from my family for like a year.
Fun. And then just one day, summer day.
Then I did a
shorts
photo
on.
shoot. I did a bikini shoot, and my mum was like, "Can I come?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Oh.
And then I had to show her.
She's
Obviously.
like, why are you walking
She's like,
funny?
what is
Why are you
that?
walking funny? You're like, oh,
Why are you wearing
Mum.
pants at your bikini shoot? Like, it's the new bikini. But yeah, she was fine. My mum's actually sweet. My dad doesn't love them, but he's fine with it now.
My
He
folks
realizes.
were like, I kind of got into, I had like an emo phase. I had my lip
we all did.
hairs.
Oh, I had all
like
that.
your
I had-
little snake.
yeah.
No,
Badass
done,
girl.
bro,
Yeah.
done with that. But I was always told like if they weren't super anti-tattoos, they were just like we don't like them. So it was kind of like don't get tattoos. And then I'm like 18, go overseas the first time, and it was a really cool story at one point until I discovered that my tattoo, which I thought was super original because I saw it on Pinterest. And it gets worse because I got it in like a mall in Malaysia.
Where? Oh shit.
Great.
It was a really cool mall. It was an actual like studio. It's just
Yeah.
one of those like malls that are massive.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
when I say mall, people think like Glenfield, and it's like no, not quite. But and so my really original tattoo that's obviously on Pinterest.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, but then like I know 5 different people in this town with the same tattoo.
I do
Great.
stick and poke tattoos, but like very amateur. And the
Right.
first one I did on him was away.
Was away pretty
Okay.
much the
Yeah,
same,
without
same
the
as
sign,
that.
without the sign.
Yeah, because I used to show people like, oh my god, what do you think? And they're like, what is it? I'm like, it's a wave and a
do you
sign.
mean?
I'm
You
like,
can absolutely tell it's
turn
wave
it
and
that
sign.
way, it's like a cherry bomb. Like
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to be original. But my folks were like, no tattoos. And then I'm like, finally like posted a photo, and there was like whispers at home, and I come home, I'm like, yeah, I got a tattoo, and they're like, I show them, and my pop's just like, is that it? And I'm like, oh, okay.
like, it's
oh,
the start of
shame.
Sorry.
I was like, whoa.
Is that your only tattoo?
No, I've got a few now, but
Oh, yeah.
patchworky, I think is what they call it these days. Yeah.
that's fine. I
Come-
used to be
come see me
patchworky.
soon,
They all
or-
blend
Yeah.
They'll colour you in.
Absolutely. Not afraid. No.
Were you guys always comfortable with them? Like, have you ever looked at one and you were like, I'm not too sure if I put that one in the right place?
I have a couple. This is done in Bali. Like not this, and this was all done in Bali. I love the like actual design of it, but some of it's like really shit, pretty much. So I'd love to get this lasered, but just like redone, like just sharpen it up. But other than that, I love all my tattoos. Yeah.
I'm pretty the same as well.
Yeah.
Like my first one, the bro, would have been like 16. He got a tattoo gun,
They all have
and then he could only draw straight lines. So there's about 10 of us all got these kind of star tattoos on our ankles. So
It's mean. It's like all his boys have it, you know. And like the story
All the OG
behind it,
boys.
even though it's a shit tat, like it's still funny as and like a real cool.
and one of the bros, well, we were younger, you know, like 16. He ended up hitting like a hickey
did
on his
what?
neck. He got a hickey. And then to hide it from his missus, he got a tattoo on his neck.
Oh my god.
So he's got this big crooked ass star on his neck.
That's gonna be the absolute biggest play up there. Like, oh
Just get a
no.
tattoo. Get a tattoo, cover it up. But
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's commitment, eh?
16-year-olds.
16-year-old
Idiots.
too. Oh my god.
Great. Emma, one of the reasons why I asked about accepting them and looking at them, you have a cool story, if you don't mind sharing, about BII.
Oh yes, BII,
Yeah,
breast implant illness.
So if it's okay, could you tell us a little bit what it is first, and like why did you decide to do it, and how was the unfolding of the situation?
Yeah,
So
of
that-
course.
Pizza
So
time.
BII.
Pizza time.
Pizza break. Yeah, so BII is breast implant illness, so it kind of explains itself, I guess. So I used to have breast implants, and I had them for like 13 years, and basically your body is just constantly fighting these foreign things inside you, and it just creates all these other health issues that they range. There's honestly like the biggest range of health issues depending on the person and that kind of thing. My most crippling one was like severe back pain, and that wasn't because of the like weight of them, because everyone's like, of course you got big boobies, but I didn't have big ones. Like I had pretty small ones. I only had 250 cc's, which probably doesn't mean much to most people, but like that's very small. I just wanted normal sized boobs for my body. I didn't want big fake titties and whatever. Anyway, so my most crippling was probably my back pain, and I had a whole heap of other symptoms as well that I didn't actually realise I had until I had them removed. It probably took me about 4 years of different tests like that you'd normally go through if you have severe back pain. So I did, chiropractor, osteo, I went to the doctors, I had x-rays, I went on medications, like I was on like heavy muscle relaxants, eating tramadols, like multiple tramadols.
During this whole journey of trying to find out what the problem was, did anyone even mention or grasp the possibility?
In the back of my mind, I did know about BII, but still back then, like it's only probably in the last couple of years that it has become a huge thing within the implant community, I guess you call it, or the female community, because so many people have started to explant. But back in the day, I did know a little bit about it, but not a lot. And at that time in my life, I wasn't kind of ready to accept that maybe that was it, because I was still like quite self-conscious about my boobs or whatever, And but then a close friend of mine had similar thing happen, and she got hers removed, and she added me to a BII face group which had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of women who were dealing with similar things. And I was just reading through these like stories and connecting with these people and like putting my story out there, and people were kind of just like, yes, like all the pieces of the puzzles were just like kind of connecting. And I just made this decision probably 2 years ago now.
Yep.
Whoa.
Years ago.
Do you even care
Sorry, I
about
was eating.
pizza? Well, I'm getting emotional. No.
So spicy, and Duane is going hard. I'm like, he loves that spice, man. That's what
I forgot what I was talking about now. Oh yeah, probably about 2 years ago, I had done all these tests, everything I could possibly think of to rule anything, everything out. Basically, I was like, well, the only thing is it could be my implants. It has to be them. And then after reading all these stories of all these women who were having similar situations to me, I was just like, nah, this is what I have. I know it. I just know it. I can just feel it. Just something in my mind. I was like, no, I know this isn't, And then I made the decision. I went to my surgeon who actually did my original implants. And I said to him, hey, what do you think about BII? And blah, blah, blah. With surgeons, they have to be really careful because it's something that it can't be tested for. So they can't guarantee that that's what it is. So they can't say, yep, we're going to take them out and you'll be fixed, because you might not be. And that is the risk that you kind of have to take, because sometimes the symptoms that you have, your body can actually hold on to them even when the implants are removed.
Wow.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I didn't. And there's only a small percentage of people that I kind of know of that's happened to. But anyway, yeah. So I had them removed probably about 14 months ago, October 2022. No.
21.
21.
Happy to 21, yeah.
Yeah,
About
we're 23 now.
Yeah,
Oh my
about 21, babe. I was like, babe, that was last year. That was
I missed
yesterday.
a whole year. Shit.
So Emma, I believe when you come to a doctor and you tell them, the surgeon, what you want, I believe there's disclaimers and all those things that you sign. Do you remember anything
They never speak about it. They speak about all the medical things that can go wrong, like capsular contraction and death. But BII, as I said, it can't be tested for. So yeah, they never speak about it. And obviously, a surgeon who you're just about to pay $10,000 to is not going to go, oh, by the way, you're probably going to be really sick for many years and have no idea why.
Is there because we spoke about this a little bit off camera, and it got me thinking, is this one of those things, because I don't want to exclude anyone these days about honestly anyone could go for a boob job, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But it was sort of reminding me of those things back in the day, and not so long ago, things like endometriosis and stuff was sort of the same idea. It was a thing, but not really a thing until people started to speak up about it.
Yeah.
And they can kind of test for it now, but at one point, you just kind of got shunned away for your period pain.
Yeah.
It was oh, it's not that
Stop being
bad.
so
It's
dramatic.
fine.
Yeah.
And do you think it's going to be one of those situations where the more it's talked about and the more it's sort of exposed, there'll be a bit more of
100%.
research and attention going into it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can already see there is massive research and things that are going into it now. And I think just because there has been so many women who have explanted and they've had such amazing results and all their symptoms have gone, or at least most of them have gone, it just shows that it's real, It's because a lot of surgeons will say, it's in your head, you're making it up basically, which is fucked, because I'm you think I want to fucking drop trammy every day, be in pain every day, feel like a bloody zombie every day? Absolutely not. And now obviously it's gone, so it just proves. Even he knows,
she's a lot more happy in the mornings.
Yeah,
when she had the boobs in, she'll wake up and she'll be like a nightmare. She was grumpy and get away. She was
you're killing the purpose.
But now in the morning though, she wakes up happy, smiley, singing. She's
perfect
flip.
now. No, I'm joking.
And that's the thing, because obviously I was joking. It's something that women do because they want to feel bad about themselves, right? So you want to look at yourself in the mirror and feel good. Anyone, men now, is the hair thing, hair implants, do it. You're not alone,
I was
bro.
going to say, why did you just look at me?
I look at you, but I was.
Hey man, gotcha. I got your back.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
It's I have something to tell you guys.
So so it's good that you're talking about these things, because we all go through it, and we had this chat last night, Chloe, and Chloe was like, oh, I have this friend and he's getting bald and he's doing this weird thing with his hair, he's trying to cover. But he's all body positivity, and I'm like, but I think you kind of have to separate that. You can be someone really supportive of body positivity but when it comes to you, when it comes to yourself and you look at yourself in the mirror, I think we all have those things. So you can still be the biggest one going for body positivity and still feel oh, it would be good to change this and that.
100%. It just really scares me that, because even what implants are made out of. They're literally like a bag of toxic shit that we pay money to have our bodies cut open and then put inside our body on top of all of our major organs. Like, doesn't that sound messed up to you?
And how much it costs, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously...
I'm $23,500 deep, I think. I've had to have 3 surgeries. And that's like 3, like, I could die. You know what I mean? Like, to put yourself through that is, yeah.
In the last surgery too, like...
My last surgery, I had
that was pretty
complications as well. I had like
crazy.
internal bleeding, and I had to go back under the knife while I was awake to have like my whole
my
right
God.
breast, bloody, whatever you call it, washed out.
We
and
got home and
Sorry,
her boob just kind of was like
my eye
just
went, man.
swollen. It was like 4 times the size.
yeah,
It
it was
kept
like
growing
4
and
times
growing.
the size. Yeah, so I had an artery, which is. So
Oh my God.
When you have an explant, you have to have a full capsulectomy, which is when they basically burn out and scrape out
Yeah.
the entire breast cavity. So inside is just a complete open wound, basically. And they've cut out and burnt out all of my breast cavity because when you have your implants, your body creates a capsule of scar tissue around the implant to protect your body from this thing, and that holds toxic matter as well. So you have to have that removed. So when that happened, obviously, one of the big risks of that is that you can have internal bleeding, or they might nick something by accident, and that's what happened to me. So was it this side?
Yeah, left
Yeah, like
side.
literally blew up, like gigantic, and I was like, I don't think this is meant to happen. So I had to go back, and they had to drain it and cut, like, yeah, but it was all fine. It was all good. But yeah,
It's gnarly though.
yeah, the recovery was pretty full on, and like quite emotional as well, because I was like really nervous about what I was going to look like and if I was going to feel like good about myself, and
Or you're just gonna...
yeah, or I'm gonna be like, oh, I hate my body, like, you know. But it was actually the opposite. I actually am so much more confident. Like, I love my itty bitty titties. I'm
Get it,
a
girl.
proud
Get it,
advocate
girl.
of the itty bitty titty committee, and yeah.
So when you said that you found out that there was this big group talking about it and being supportive with each other, do you feel like the same group or other people are doing the work towards like focusing on girls who want to get
Do you
their
mean
boobs
like
done,
trying to stop them from getting it, or
yeah, more like preventive, or like bringing awareness, kind
I
of like,
think-
look, go for it, like be mindful, because
Yeah.
that's the work, right?
Yeah.
Prevention.
Definitely, like people like me who have gone through explant already, like I'm really public about my story and I try and get it out here. I'm on a podcast talking about it right now. I've done an article in the New Zealand Herald about it. Like I've posted my story on Instagram, and so many other women who've gone through doing the same thing, and that's just trying to help and prevent, like if I can prevent one girl from having 10 years of bad shit happen to them, because it literally is, because you get these implants and then you start having health issues and you don't realise these health issues are from that, because they could be so minor and you're just like, oh, that's just me. Like half of my health issues, I thought it was just me getting old. I was like, oh, that's normal. Like I had really bad night sweats and I was like, oh, I'm just a sweaty bitch. That's just who I am, you know? Turns out I'm not.
Still are.
I'm still pretty sturdy. I'm still pretty sturdy, but not as bad, okay? Come on. It used to be bad.
Yeah,
like, I
it's
used
bad.
to be, like, dripping in sweat at night, like, disgusting. Like, little things like that you're like, oh, that's just who I am, or, you know?
Because as you said, the body's constantly fighting,
just
it's trying
constantly
to
fighting.
understand what's going on,
Yeah,
right?
and trying to, and just everything else kind of gets put on the back burner. So all these other health issues just start popping up because your body is just like,
And then we have all the filters, Chloe, all the social medias, all the influence
all
of like
these, yeah.
this is...
beauty standards that people are trying to kind of.
Can I ask a bit of a personal question?
Absolutely.
Feel free not to answer.
Just say marmalade.
But
Yeah.
do you still have nipples?
Yes, I still
Okay.
have nipples.
So, no, because I was
Off
just
camera.
curious. No, I've known for the first time. Quite a few months ago now. Last year, I saw my first tattooed nipple.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I knew a lady that, unfortunately, cancer, had a double
Yeah.
mastectomy, and then she had implants, and she whipped them out. She's like, check out these
Yeah,
bad
it's
boys. They're not real.
amazing.
I was like, well, you know what?
It's amazing what they can do
Your
with
tattoo
the
artist
tattoos,
is
yeah.
on his game. You know,
Yeah.
have you ever considered maybe somewhere in the future with your advocacy
Yeah,
you could
possibly.
free the nipple?
Free the
if you don't
nipple.
have any, I can tattoo them for you.
Yeah.
there you
Absolutely.
go. Slogan.
We
Chuck
can.
that on a
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I do still have nipples.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
my incisions are under here.
Oh,
They
okay.
didn't touch my nipples at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bugger. Look at it.
Are there...
Well, I don't know,
Order
actually, I was
some
asleep.
because there are different ones, right? You can remove the nipple, you can do from the bottom.
Yeah, there's different kinds of like implant, like the way they do it. Yeah, through the armpit, through depending on what you're doing. I think they go through the nipple if you're getting like a lift or a different things.
We worked for Playboy in Brazil.
Oh,
and there
wow,
was a
yes.
thing. Yeah, there was a thing
you
in
would have seen lots of titties then.
and that's the thing. Like Big Brother is a big thing all over the world.
The show, you mean?
The show, the reality show. So I remember that there was a deal with most of the participants, with the girls, like that as soon as they left,
They could get fake titties.
they would have to do the Playboy cover.
Oh.
So
From Big Brother.
yeah, so like goodbye, Brazil guys. You know? So
Right.
well, not all of them.
You go with Big Brother, you're Playboy.
Some of them. But I remember this case of this girl, like she finished and she got her boobs like 2 days after she left the show. And then because there's momentum, right? Like you don't want to be on the cover when you're not relevant anymore. So she had to do the cover like probably 2 or 3 days after getting her boobs done.
No.
So the guy doing the Photoshop was okay because Photoshop is a photo and you can play, but we would do the video part. And the video editor, he was like, man, look at this woman. Like she was like,
In pain,
she was in pain.
yeah.
She was bloated. She was like, you could see that she was not coping.
No.
Yeah, so, you know, I was already not, I realized that it was not a great thing.
Yeah.
You know, like when you work, when you see behind the scenes, you're kind of like, oh, there's actually not, it's fine, you know, like there's all the empowerments, as we were saying, like if you want to do it, go for it. But when you see the business behind and how much pressure there is for the woman
And it is a full-on surgery as well. It's not just like a quick, like, you know, nip, tuck, whatever. It's like...
Yeah. I just remember one more thing, actually. She was on her period. Because that
wow.
was the thing. Yeah, because I remember the video guy, he was like, I think she had a tampon or something. And he was like, I cannot even get this take because she was... So, like, the worst day to do it. But she signed the contract.
She had to do
Had to do it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So, you know, like, we go through things sometimes, like, really have to reflect on, like, what we're choosing, how. I think that's the main thing. You can do things for yourself, but, like, make sure that you're praising. Hey,
Yeah, one thing I would say to all the girls, all the women out there who are thinking of getting implants, do your research, look into BII, please, because honestly, if you think you're going to be one of those girls that it's not going to affect, trust me when I tell you, it will affect you. Maybe only mildly, but I can almost guarantee that most women who have implants will have some sort of issue from them.
Is that a page or a group, or is just like a
there's
simple
heaps. If you
search?
just
It's just
Google, if
easy
you
to-
go on Facebook and just Google breast implant illness survivors, there's multiple different pages that you can add to and ask questions and read people's stories and all that kind of thing. Even like reading for 5 minutes on that page would put you off wanting them. And they're so uncomfortable. That's so uncomfortable. I couldn't even sleep on my front for 13 years. I had them for 13 years. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on my front and it's so comfortable. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing it.
No, thank you.
Thanks for sharing
Thank you
your
for
story.
listening.
Yeah. That's what we do. That's what we do. Let's talk about traveling. So you guys have been all over. Is it easier to say the countries that you haven't been yet?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, no, we love travelling. Even within New Zealand, like being obviously restricted with COVID and whatnot, it's made us travel around New Zealand. We've done a lot of freedom camping around the North Island. We're supposed to be doing the South Island soon.
About to build our tiny
Oh
truck.
yeah, we're building a tiny home on like a big truck.
cool.
Yeah. So we're doing that ourselves as well, which is very,
Very exciting.
very exciting and it fits our lifestyle very well.
So what does the research involve, man? What are the main things to check when you're going for a project like that?
Oh gosh, we haven't done
Jeez.
any research.
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, that's the way you guys started for the book.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
exactly.
you know,
It was just like, well,
Yeah.
so on my mum's side, they build trucks for film sets, so that's kind of how it came about. Yeah, so my family have been in the film industry for as long as I can remember, and they build trucks, so like makeup salons on wheels, wardrobe trucks on wheels, or like they built like a, depending on what the movie is or whatever, like they did like a school truck for like Narnia because the kids had to have like a couple of hours of school each day on set and stuff like that. So they build custom trucks like that. So that's kind of how it came about. We wanted to build a tiny home and they build trucks, like, so put it together, they can
Tiny
help
house on
us. So
wheels.
they're very much our research. They've pretty much done it for 20
Nice.
years. So we just like, Mom, what do
It's
we do
calling the
now?
family.
Yeah.
Research.
You've actually got pros up your
Yeah,
sleeve.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how it came about.
Yeah, so we just got the kind of the truck, the old shell, and then I've just been kind of been dismantling it and just demoing it. So now it's all the shell now, and now we just got to kind of plan where everything's going to go.
We're doing all the floor
and
planning and like figuring out what we need and ordering all the products
Bits and bobs.
yeah, all that
windows,
kind of
skylights.
stuff.
So we're on that kind of stage now. So pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're trying to do most of it ourselves. Obviously, like the wiring and
Sparkies
plumbing and
and
stuff
plumbing.
like that, we'll get in proper people. What do you call them? Professionals. That's the one.
When
Professionals.
you guys go overseas, is it something that you do? Like, do you like to rent cars, vehicles, or each country is a different country?
It depends on the country, yeah.
If we're in Bali and stuff, I just normally just get scooters, just scooters, and kind of just cruise everywhere. Same as probably Vietnam, just get scooters, and Cambodia.
Yeah. When we're over in Europe and stuff, we'll probably just
Bus and fly, trains.
See, we kind of just get there and
kind of figure it
whatever
out.
the best option is, we'll do that.
Yeah, when we kind of travel, we find a kind of spot. If you like it, we'll stay for a few days. If you don't like it, we'll just get out of there.
Yeah, we've got kind of like a few things for our next trip like booked, but they're kind of like a few weeks apart. So like the in between is kind of just like we'll see.
nice
We'll
and
see.
open, though.
We might meet some cool people and want to go there with them, or like whatever. Yeah.
Nice.
Mad gypsies.
You were saying you've got like a trip booked next. You did say a little bit before we went
we've got a
live. Do you want to
huge
share
trip.
a little bit of your sort of route for leaving
Yeah,
here?
it was meant to just. So my sister's living in London,
Right.
and my other sister is moving there in like a month or so. So we kind of originally we were going over there to. Can you hear me?
Come on,
Okay, we were going. Sorry, I keep leaning back. We were going over there to see my sister. But now it's kind of turned into everywhere. So we're going Auckland to Singapore, Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, then to Greece. And then we're going to be there for probably about 3 weeks. We're doing Sail Greece. So it's kind of like my birthday present. So we're going on like a yacht for a week and traveling all around there.
Some
and then we've got
islands.
like 2 weeks before that we're going to do whatever. And then we're going to go over to Israel. So I've got family in Israel. So I want to go over there and take him. And then my sister's going to come there as well.
Oh, cool.
And then we're going to go to the Balkans. We've both done most of the Balkans, so like Albania, Macedonia, Montenegro, Bulgaria. But I only did it for a short time, and so did he. So we want to spend a bit more time there. And then we're going to London, eh?
Yeah, then we fly to Vancouver.
London, and then to Vancouver.
Yeah, opposite
So I
side.
have family in Alaska as well, and we're doing a cruise around Alaska. So that's kind of how that happened. So we're going there, and then we're going to stay with my family in Alaska for a little bit. And then we haven't figured out our route home.
Yeah, so we're
So it's
trying
going to
to.
be a big trip.
Have you been to Alaska before?
No.
No, it's been our first time,
So very
so-
exciting, yeah.
Is Alaska where the Northern Lights are?
Nah, I
Isn't
think
that
it's
Iceland?
Norway.
I don't know.
I know it's not Iceland.
So bad with like,
know it's not
I'm so
Oh,
bad
no,
with
yeah,
like,
maybe in Iceland. You probably see it
I
from
feel like
there.
you can see it from there, can't you?
Yeah, it's in the type of area, you know,
I'm so
the
bad.
Arctic.
Like, I could have been to a country and I wouldn't even know.
I'm
That's
like
starting
geographically
writing things down.
challenged.
When I do stuff, like when I'm traveling, I always write like I went to this place there and I did that, so I remember.
I'm like
Was it?
geographically challenged. Like, I couldn't
Yeah.
really tell you where we are in the world. I mean, I kind of know that we're like somewhere down the bottom, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, they're like, oh yeah, isn't that country next to this one? I'm like, don't know where either
Yeah.
of those are. I'm like, they could be next to Australia for all I care. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I just have no idea.
Get the Bean app; it'll help you.
Being
Bean.
in South America, bro. How was it?
Oh yeah, that was real
he
good actually.
remember?
Yeah, no, I had 6 months in South America. Yeah, so me and the bro kind of just flew to Santiago, Chile, and then we just kind of just bust all the way up. So yeah, went to like Bolivia, Peru, Machu Picchu, done the salt flats. Yeah, done Ecuador, Colombia. Yeah, just all the kind of all the
feel
good and
safe?
bad stuff.
Did you feel safe?
Yeah, when I first got to Santiago, I was sketching out, just hearing all the stories, and I had my surfboard. We both had the surfboards and like iPhones, and we're trying to look, trying to find out where to go. And we're like, I was looking like, holding my phone,
Under the shed
because
a
I've
little
heard like
bit.
stories, and I was like, yeah, no, but it was sweet as. We had no trouble. Oh, we never got, I think, because we were like brown as well, and we didn't really get hassled at all. But lots of our English friends, they got jacked all the time.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, they got like
Oh.
knife pulls on them or stolen laptops. So yeah, a few of our, yeah.
Do you also think maybe it's not just because you're brown, you're also like really tall?
Yeah.
Like, you're not tiny. You're not tiny. You're like, it's just because I'm brown.
And he didn't
I
mention,
usually get robbed and I'm brown.
and he didn't mention the knife in his
Yeah,
teeth
yeah,
that he was
yeah,
carrying.
yeah.
It. Oh,
Phone in one hand,
Yeah.
surfboard on the back, knife. You know.
Crack up.
But yeah, no, it was sweet. Yeah, we didn't get jacked at all. And yeah, South America.
Where was that? Where you got questioned? Where they didn't believe you that you were that your New Zealand passport was actually real?
Oh no, that was in Bulgaria.
Oh.
Yeah. So a few years ago when I was traveling Europe with the same bro again, we were in Turkey. We're trying to cross the borders. It was the same time as all the Syrian refugees were crossing the borders as well.
Oh wow.
And it was the first time they'd seen a New Zealand passport. So we got there and they're like, and then the bro, he's kind of looks like Pacific Island. He's Pacific Island, so he's like looks a bit Asian-y. And then I'm like the straight Māori, so he's like, they're like, you guys don't look the same, you know, New Zealand, you know, just like a fake passport. So we got held up for a few hours. This like held the bus up for ages. And then they kind of finally like believed us.
Google it. It's a real country.
Yeah,
I promise.
And then we finally got to Bulgaria.
They let you through.
Let me through. Yeah, beautiful country, Bulgaria. So yeah, amazing food and yeah, highly recommend it.
Do you feel like it's a strong passport when you guys rock up with a New Zealand passport to
I
places?
love being a New
Yeah.
Zealander and traveling. I absolutely love it. They love Kiwis everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool to be able to be a Kiwi and travel around the world. And they think we're so like exotic.
Yeah, they do.
And you're like, me?
you're like, oh, New Zealand's not that little. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like I feel really like, what do you call it?
Blessed.
Yeah, really blessed to be able to be a Kiwi and Māori and travel.
Yeah, because
travel
we
around
had a
the
good
world
rep overseas, eh? Like Maldives and
Absolutely.
Kiwis, you know, when we
100%.
travel, you know, they're really
Oh, yeah.
like this kind generation, you know,
Yeah.
always on a mean buzz of vibing. So they're always like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, the brother, like, trying to give me a hongi, you know, where I go and stuff. Like, so yeah, pull a few hongies everywhere I go, but yeah, and they always ask for huckers, eh? I was like,
That's
nah.
what I was
Always,
thinking.
I've never seen more huckers than when I lived in London. So
Always
many
the
white
haka.
boys doing
Do you
huckers.
Do you charge for the haka? Do you charge
Nah,
to do it? Okay. She started a business. Okay.
Yeah.
How long? How much do you want?
But yeah, that's a big question, eh? Everywhere we go, they always ask for huckers, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you get something like? Is there anything for girls, Chloe? Like when a Kiwi goes to a country, like because you're doing more like Asia, right, at the moment?
No, not just for work at the moment. My last few layovers have been in Asia, but sometimes for what I get usually it's like, oh, All Blacks, rugby,
Yeah.
haka.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And then you can kind of tell some people that kind of actually know New Zealand for more than that. But then I have been asked like, do women do pukana? And I'm like,
Yeah.
we do. I'm like, we absolutely do. But they're like, the tongue. I'm like, oh, now.
Yeah,
now.
relax.
I'm
We
not-
just met.
I'm not from that side of the island. Sorry. But no, that's about it. Like, I've had a few common occurrences where, sort of when I dove into the sort of like traveling in group stuff, like just on like bus about and stuff to get through from Europe as well. It was like you'd hear the odd Aussie at the end of the bus and they'd be like, "Tutera maina iwi." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh man!" Like, it's like, but not really because
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
Australian,
yeah.
so like
Like,
get
don't
your own
steal our
song.
shit.
Yeah, get your own song.
Aussie. No.
I suppose that's about it. It's just kind of the same sort of stuff. But
Do you guys travel to Australia? Is it a place like? Is it a
So he
go-to?
actually lived
Yeah,
in
I
Sydney.
lived there
His
for
daughter
like
lives in
14
Sydney.
years in that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sydney.
Sydney. Yeah, I went there when I was
yeah.
17. Yeah, my daughter's there now. She's 12. So
Yeah.
yeah, spent a big time in Sydney, but yeah, over it, eh? Over kind of being around Aussies. So no offense, all the Aussies out there, but yeah,
I think that was offensive.
rather be back home and yeah.
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
No
Just
offense.
Yeah, we
just
went
saying.
over July to visit his daughter. She was here recently, but the last time we went to Aussie, we went over in July. We did what, like Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast.
Goldie,
It was cool just to like see all our friends and family and stuff. They were actually there, but
too fast paced.
Yeah.
You know, coming from, you know,
Everyone seems to be
from the
quite
Coromandel,
angry
then going over there, everyone's like
You're
road
like,
rage, like,
nah.
like full on and just like rat
Yeah.
race. No one says hello, no one says anything to, you know, everyone's in their own
Too
kind of.
busy.
And you guys are from H-Town. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, H-Town.
H-Town.
Kitty.
Do you go back often? Is it a stop?
We were there this morning, actually.
Yeah.
Well, my other business is there, so I do go back every week. Try to avoid it as much as possible, but we're on the road all the time. So
What is the other business?
I'm a cosmetic tattooist and an eyelash extension technician. Yeah, so I've got a little studio in Hamilton and Chartwell that I've been doing probably like 7 years now. Yeah, the studio's normally I work from home, but our studio's been open for probably like 2 years. But yeah, so I do that. So I have a huge client base there, but I also have a client base here. So I kind of travel back and forth, which is cool. Like I'm working here tomorrow and on Monday doing lashes and stuff. And then we've got a market also actually on Sunday.
Busy.
Fitty market.
Busy.
Fitty market.
Yeah, we're doing the Fitty market. Come down and see us.
So
Wanna meet us in person?
I told you guys I would ask that before.
Yes.
What's when you see what's happening in Hamilton, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
big cities at the moment compared to when you guys grew up, like what's the vibe?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly there.
There's a lot of crime happening in Hamilton at the moment. Like, it's actually seriously bad. Like, we've had one car stolen. My car got broken into.
The
My
client's
handbag. One of my client's car got stolen outside of my studio just
my
like last
God.
week. She was only there for like 45 minutes. And my handbag got stolen from my friend's house while we were there. Someone came into her house and stole my handbag. Like, it's actually crazy. And
my
they're really
God.
cocky. Like, they're young kids too. They're all like underage, and they're just like going around.
The stealing cars.
Yeah. Ram
Ram-
raids, like stealing cars. Like his car got stolen a couple of months ago, and we reported it. And the guy was like, "This is like 28 cars that
25
morning
cars
had
get
already been
stolen.
reported stolen." And it was like 8 o'clock or something, 9 o'clock, and we're like, "What the?"
So there's kind of stealing cars and doing like just
Yeah,
joyrides.
just like
and just,
joyrides and smashing into shops, and like lately there's been heaps of like robberies at dairies and like with machetes and stuff, which is really scary. Yeah.
I know
It's
that
scary.
it's-
It doesn't feel safe anymore.
Yeah, and it's a hard one, like to find an answer. Like you cannot point at one direction and say that's the thing. But like, how do you guys see it? Like, what? Again, there's no right and wrong. But like, because you guys grew up there, you guys are Kiwis, you guys travel around the world. The social gap is stretching, want us or not. But like, what do you guys see triggering those?
I think it's a mixture of
yeah,
maybe like boredom and
Nothing to do in Hamilton.
No one to guide them properly. Yeah.
because I grew up
It
in
depends
Indaloo.
on the kid. Yeah.
in the hood there.
Yeah.
So, but for us, we just like skateboard, ride our bikes around, go to the river, do bombs. That was kind of our buzz. But now kids these days are kind of stealing cars and kind of jacking people. And
also, like, I feel like people are trying to get famous, like, in a way that's, like, real messed up. Like, there's a whole heap of kids around Hamilton who are doing robberies and things and, like, posting on social media, like, trying to get, like, clout out of it, you know? And it's like, bro, you're not cool.
God.
Like, a dairy owner recently got his fingers chopped off by a 17-year-old, like, robbing his dairy when he was, like, he was like, take whatever you want, and they cut his fingers off. Like, for no reason. Like, shit like that. And you're just like, what are you doing? Like...
But that's the thing, when you, like you said, when you're a kid and then you do like a bomb in the water, like that's your way to show off, you know, like, look at me. But like now we
It's
have a very
serious.
powerful tool that you can have other ways to show
Yeah.
off, right? And when you see examples, you kind of like want to do that. Hey?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't feel like very safe in Hamilton.
yeah, like in yesterday as well, there's like a kind of post going around about like, you know, all the people from the hoods kind of ripping and fighting. So
Yeah, like they've got like an organised meetup where they're going to fight and kill each other, basically.
like weapons allowed, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
stab
stab
for
for stab.
stab.
It was like fuck.
It's like a poster, like going around social media, like meet at this spot and bring your weapons. So it's on, like, kind of vibe.
I'm
and you're like,
genuinely
Yeah.
gobsmacked. I don't know if this has been on the
I'll
news
show you the-
recently.
I'll
I
show you-
haven't
Show
seen
us
it.
the
I'll show you the
poster.
post.
There's a
but
post.
heaps of people, like, because it's obviously gone kind of viral in Hamilton, so heaps of people have been posting it, being like, keep your kids inside, like, stay away from these areas that they've kind of mentioned on this poster.
Is it like, I mean, I know you're saying about this. Do you think
Don't
these
give the
kids
address,
are
otherwise we'll be promoting it. But you can read
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then it says if the pigs turn up or whatever, like on that day, the next
to
day
a
they're going to come to my hood
Yeah,
in
where
the
you
park
grew
there
up.
where I grew up and like, you know, kind of had rumbles and stuff. So, but I think all the elders and all of us kind of, you know,
Yeah,
found out
hopefully-
about it. So I think it's going to hopefully get
It'll
stopped
get shut down.
or there'll be cops in there.
Do you think it's like, and this is just pure curiosity, like a new generation of like the gang stuff?
Yeah. They're scary too. They have like no sense of consequences. And I think because they know that the cops can't do anything to them because they're all underage,
Yeah, they use
they
it
just
as
do
like
whatever
a.
how they want.
This is actually disgusting.
Yeah, it's actually
Ruthless, eh?
disgusting.
And the fact there's like a little devil emoji and a knife
Yeah.
emoji. Like, are you kidding me?
Like, I
Weapons
used to
allowed,
say-
like what?
Fuck.
I used to say to people, like, when I lived in London, I'd be like, so if I saw a group of kids, like, being scary, if you're in London, you do not mess with them because
Yeah.
they might stab you and kill you.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, in New Zealand, if I saw a bunch of kids being idiots, I'd be like, oh, you little
Yeah,
kids, stop being
yeah.
dickheads. Now
Yeah.
there's no way because they might stab me too. Like, it's actually, yeah, it's getting pretty full on.
I'm just genuinely gobsmacked.
Ruthless,
What the
eh?
fuck?
There was like 100 ram raids. I think it was within a week, and then they figured out who it was, and it was like this bunch of
like
underages.
literally 13,
And then
14-year-olds or something.
when they went to go like arrest them, they got shot at. The cops got shot at.
Wow.
What the actual fuck?
Like in Hamilton. Like what is going on?
My nephews, I don't think they're like 13, 14 yet, but like they're at that age and they're harmless little boys, you know? And to think, I don't even know if they can like ride their bike properly, if I'm completely honest with you. And I'm like, there's boys your age going out there stealing cars, threatening people, harming people's possessions, and like, what is it? Grievous bodily harm. Like, what the hell?
And for no reason. Like, if you steal my shit because you need to feed your family, whatever. But they're just stealing my shit because they're bored and they think it's funny. It's like, bro.
Of course, that like no one wants that.
No, obviously neither is good.
It's
but
also,
you know.
but like it's also a way that we get to see, because especially you guys, like you travel so much and then you go to countries where you know. You know, like, so you go to South America, you are aware of it. You're like, oh, I have to watch my back because I'm in South America. But then suddenly, like, you start to change that thing of saying, oh no, I'm in New Zealand is all good. You know, like now you have to watch your back in New Zealand as well. You know, like, so it's, again, we don't want this to happen.
No.
But like, come on, like let's talk about it, eh? Let's do what like we're doing here now. Like let's bring the conversation to the table and say like, this is happening. You know, like, let's stop saying, no, New Zealand is all good, safest country to travel. Yeah, it is, but like, it doesn't mean
It's safe still.
There's still shit goes down behind the scenes, eh? Like,
there's always the dark side to anything, you know.
But now it's just coming forward a lot more. But yeah, we need to change it somehow. Well, our rangatahi, eh? You know, we need to get some positive role models in there and just kind of give them some guidance if you can. Yeah, but
the arts, the surf,
getting the Moana,
the book,
the
music.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
Non-offensive tattoos.
Yeah, non-offensive tattoos. Cool tattoos. Quality tattoos.
Yeah, no. Again, like you gotta do it. Like, it feels like it's a end job. Like you feel small, but like you gotta do what you can do.
Yeah.
Right. That's a way to feel empowered. You know, because that's another thing that you hear all the time. Oh, but what could I do? You know, like, it's such a big problem. You're like, man, just do your part.
Yeah.
You know, like,
what? If everyone does a little, then it's a lot, thing? Right?
Hey, Chloe, where are we going, man? What's happening?
I'm honestly still just.
You're thinking about
really
the post?
Just trying to wrap my head around that whole situation. I have to admit, I don't often actively watch much TV, like TV.
Yeah.
So I don't really catch the news much and stuff, and I've
never
heard about this.
I mean, I don't get any of this information from the news or anything. This is just like locals talking and like, you know. Because
I live in Auckland as well, and I live in like East Tamaki, and I have friends who are on the shore and stuff, and like it was just like, it's that subtle humour, and then about the South being dangerous and stuff, and I'm like, nah.
Is it mainly Māori in the South? Do you mean South what? I'm sorry.
South Auckland.
South Auckland, yeah.
No, it's not just. I mean, brown people in general, I'd say. Yeah. That's a good word, I think, because there's lots. It's actually quite diverse, I think, but I wouldn't put it down to one culture. But, and you know, they make subtle jokes, but like I tagged them in a post for like the Chinese Lantern Festival, and they're like, I don't want to get stabbed and down in South. Well, I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to actually believe that stuff happens because you don't know unless you see it. And it's one thing to see a post and stuff and whatever, but like I've never been threatened with a knife before. I've never witnessed a ram raid. Like the kids I know at that age are like my nephews who, like I said, one of them I probably can't really ride a bike very well. Yeah, you know, and it's like it's just really hard to fathom.
Oh my gosh, at that age I would have been shit scared to do anything anywhere near. Like
Were you guys always comfortable with your Māori background, like with who you are as a Māori person, or is something that you grew to accept and understand and become more like, this is me.
I've always been absolutely proud to be a Māori, but I still don't know near as much as I want to know. Like, I'm very proud to be a Māori, but I want to be way more educated on like what that means, and like I know what that means because I know who I know who I am, but nah.
You know, I've always been proud of being Māori. Just all my fun are just real. You know, going to the marae. You know, just helping out, washing the dishes, you know, just playing for the cousins or the aunties are getting told off. You know, they put you in your place at the
They still
marae,
get
you know.
slapped
There's
with
nothing
the
like
gender.
brush, eh? With the cousins and-
Yeah, my auntie's still like, hey,
Yeah, he
Moko,
still
what are you
gets-
doing? You know, fucking still gives me a whack here and
Cracks
there,
me
you know,
up.
but it's just real, you know. But they got all them, you know, manaakitanga and aroha as well, you know, they got your back as well, and they'll put you in shape, but and they'll give you a big hug as well, you know.
We're very lucky. We come from both very supportive families, and there's obviously other people that don't, which is, you know, sad. But yeah, we're really lucky in that fact that we've
Got some
always
good role models and
got some really
guidance
good
and-
role models and really awesome family. And
The cool thing that I I love about the culture is the extended family idea. So
Yeah.
like sometimes even if you see that a bro it's not doing good with his family, like there's this opportunity that another family will pick up and give a hand and give some guidance. Is that right to say?
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
a biggest
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like being Māori is like an extended whānau, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, if you're Māori, you're pretty much like your whānau.
You know someone. Like if you're not
Yeah.
indirectly related, you're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, yeah.
like when we first started dating, we had to look
Chase
at
our
family tree to
whakapapa,
make
eh?
sure we weren't cousins. We're not. I think.
Even to chase it back, eh? Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, we did actually. 'Cause
Oh,
we
that's good.
have similar area where one of our
Yeah.
but we
You're like one
we're not-
night you
Look
went
at that.
astray and you're like,
I'm like,
oh.
well, too late, mate.
You're like, by marriage, not my blood.
yeah.
and it's so like, well, I don't know if mainstream is the word, but like a lot of bands, right? A lot of people singing in Māori. Like there's
Oh, yeah,
there's this
so
push
cool.
for the language.
Oh, there's a massive movement about Te Reo Māori at the moment, which is amazing. Yeah.
And I'm loving it, eh? You know, just putting Māori in the forefront as well. Like, like just keep going hard and keep shining awareness in our culture and
even like wahine getting moko kauai. Like,
Oh,
oh
it's
my god,
beautiful.
like the amount of wahine I see now with moko kauai, I'm like, oh, amazing. Like I strive. One day I will get my own, but until I feel like I know I'm worthy because obviously I'm Māori and being a Māori I can get it, but I want to feel, you know, more educated and.
I feel like we had this conversation with Mary Johnson of how, because like for example, I saw my mom and dad after 7 years 2 weeks ago, you know,
wow.
like so it was very like it was beautiful, it was
Yeah.
emotional, but at the same time was like, that's how I was raised, you know,
Yeah.
like now that I've been doing my thing for 10 years, I'm creating my own path, but like looking at them, I started to realize a lot of things that they have in their baggage, you know, and in their past to me. And I remember our conversation with Maddie, like how some things that comes from our ancestors or from the people before us, they're not that great anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like
Things have evolved.
yeah, so like this renaissance, like people like to say, like this thing with like Māori being at the forefront again, like it's also an opportunity to check those things, right? Maybe the new generation coming, let's pay attention and see how we can always make it better. Not just like bring the code, but like cool. Can we be better? Can we always better what we are and create something new? Would that be a thing, or like sticking to your culture? What like it's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is room there, 100%, but it's like, I mean, you use the right word, evolving, and
Yeah.
it's ever evolving
Yeah.
because it's sort of, although you can tweak and say just like remove something, you kind of have to consider like a really large picture of different iwi and different waka and different sort of protocols and traditions in small quantities as well as a whole, because like I think the image of Te Ao Māori to me is like not just like Te Ao Māori. It's kind of, it's like, yeah, that didn't come out right, but like it is a Te Ao Māori as a blanket term, but it could be so specific to people and like to whānau kind of vibe. And if you kind of want to remove something or change something, you know, you kind of still want to keep a bit of the essence there, because there's a reason why that tikanga was there, and there's a reason why it was protected and carried and, you know, made traditional. So I think anyway, there's a lot of room there for a lot of wiggle room.
And I feel like that, like it's a touchy one, because when you're speaking about your culture, you know, like I always see that when we bring Māori people, like it's very respectful, like when we're talking about Māori culture, people are like, ooh,
Yeah.
let me make sure I'm saying the right
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Well, even I get super nervous, even with like learning Te Reo Māori. Like, I get nervous about, just like I don't want to pronounce it wrong or like, because I am Māori, and I just feel like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
There's kind of an expectation.
Yeah, like a bit of pressure
Until
and
quarter
stuff.
to give you a whack. Like,
Yeah.
what was that, Moko?
Yeah.
Give me a bit of a tune up.
A bit of pressure to like, represent our culture correctly, I suppose. And I don't want to, disrespect it in any way. So you get a bit,
It's going back to touching on a podcast we had with a friend, Maddie. I asked a question. How do you feel about I've always felt that the responsibility has been on us to sort of educate and preserve and stuff, which I think is, fair enough, right? It's what the rest of our ancestors have always done. But do you think now with this new, surge of Te Ao Māori internationally as well as, nationally, do you think that the responsibility's kind of fallen on the other person? Do you think it's time for them to really take a bit of action themselves and take responsibility for their own education, because it is our national language? Because I used to always get upset that it's like, why do I have to be the one to correct you when it's our national language and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
do you think it's sort of, we're at that point where it's tipping, or do you agree at all?
It's changing now because
I don't understand the question.
Sorry, I don't think I did in the beginning either. I was just kind of trying to get there, but...
I feel like if someone knows the correct terminology, then definitely correct them, because that's obviously how the flow continues to flow, right? But I still think it should be your own responsibility to try and do your best, I guess.
I get what you're saying. But for me, when I was because I went to like mainstream schools when I was, and I was always like the token Māori boy, or there's a few of us in the class, and I was always kind of, everything was all kind of Pākehā, kind of all the teachings, everything wasn't really Te Ao Māori based at all. So it's kind of good that in the mainstream now they're actually teaching all our all our kupu and all our whakaaro. So that's
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm all for it now. It's kind of coming around, which I wish I had when I was younger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
And
it's
kind
so
of that
hard
push.
to learn when you're old. It is. It's hard.
It's more about the fear of making mistakes.
Yeah,
like
and
the,
you just
the brain.
has more pressure and more, I don't know. I can barely speak English.
You're telling me, babe. You're telling me. We're on the podcast live, and I'm like, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I don't know.
But making that effort, going for it, especially that, and that's the cool thing with the families, I feel like when you, again, it's not a responsibility, but if you have children, there you go, it should be an incentive to practice more, right? So you're already educating your children, so make an effort, it's similar when we meet Brazilians in New Zealand and they have New Zealanders Kiwi kids, and some children don't speak Portuguese. And I'm like, that's a disservice that you're doing to your child. Honestly, you just have to just be yourself, and you're actually giving them maybe a job in the future just by being bilingual, right?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, but I'm like, wow. I respect it. It's all good. People do whatever they want to do. Fuck. I don't have one. Not that I know. I don't care. I would never talk to you. But come on, make an effort. So it's cool. When I work at the school, so you see teachers who don't speak Māori giving it a go, trying, they're reading, and now the curriculum asks, there's this percentage of your teachings that have to have Māori there. And it's challenging, especially when you're an old school teacher, because now you have to adapt, but it's fine. I understand that it's hard, but it's hard for the children to learn that as well, so you can be a great example by learning with them, right?
Absolutely. I agree.
Not easy. Should we try a podcast in Te Reo, Chloe? I'll bring you to host. I'll leave you here.
I don't want to be cameraman.
much?
A little bit. I can more understand it now, but I don't, not necessarily fluent.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
See, that's cool.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's I don't know, there's just the essence about it. I love when we talk about anything to do with the language or our culture. It's so warming.
Yeah.
Can you guys give me a little bit more info how to find you, where to find you, how to buy the book, how to buy the
absolutely.
prints and all that stuff?
Oh
It's your
my
time to
gosh,
shine,
I'm
babe.
glad you
It's your time to shine,
asked.
babe.
Close the microphone and
Hold
here
it.
we go.
Two hands, babe.
asked.
You can do it like an
yes.
ASMR to
Yes,
make it very
hello.
catchy for people.
Wow.
Like so do.
I'll eat my pizza. Yes, so obviously we're called Tae Collective, so our website is Tae Collective or www.taecollective.co.nz. We've also got Instagram, which is Tae.collective, and then Facebook, which is just Tae Collective, and you can make all your orders online. We're also going to be at the Whiti City Market on Saturday if the weather allows us. So if you want to come down and have a look and meet us in person, we'll be selling them in person as well. We take FBOS and cash. But yeah.
That's Tae, T-A-E,
Yeah,
Collective.
TAE Collective. And that means colour. So, Colour Collective. So, obviously encompass. And this is just the beginning of a series. So, our next book is currently in production and it is going to be native birds.
All our manus.
So, yeah, we're just figuring that out and getting, so hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have that one released as well. And that'll be on our website too. And we've only got a few. I think we've probably got like in the 20s of all the prints left because we've done quite a few markets over the summer, which has been really cool. We've met some amazing people. So yeah, even if you don't want to buy anything, come on down and say hello. We love to talk and meet new people.
Have a chat, have a
So,
cordial.
Let me do it.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you
on
so
the
much.
mahi that you guys are putting. That's
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah.
Dream
yeah.
team.
Mahi nui.
Dream team. Yes. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for
Thank you
joining the
having
show.
us. Yeah, we really appreciate it. It's been an awesome evening.
Maybe we'll have you guys back after the whole tour
after
around the
the
world.
tour.
Yeah.
If we come back.
Are you going to take some books with you and sort of just leave them around?
absolutely. Yeah, for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And he's going to do like a collection of art as well while we're on travel. So that'll be
Nice.
cool.
plan, eh?
Nice.
Got my social media manager right there.
Put it to work, babe. Put it to work.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much, guys. That was cool.
It's been lovely to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Cheers,
you
you too. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Chloe.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you,
Aw.
Papa.
Good to see you again.
And you.
Yeah. Papa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we're live.
Sorry about my
Yeah.
issues with the mic.
Now
You were quite listening.
we got it.
Just stoked you didn't discover your chair had wheels. Because you just
And for you watching us, we're live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. We're back next Tuesday with Pia Rogers, New Zealand amazing surfer from Whangamata. She got some nationals. Like, she's amazing. She'll be here on Tuesday. It's going to be a good one. Peace.